Welcome in. Our friend started just as we started. Perfect. Thank you, Gaia. So, what we feel like starting with today, after some coconut water, is this if you're a little bit in the repetitiveness of things. Sometimes things need to happen day after day just because they need to happen, or because there is somewhere that you are going. And sometimes sometimes there are repetitive tasks. But one thing we would like to say is that even if you're in those repetitive tasks, make sure that you don't fall asleep doing them and you forgot why you're doing them. You just keep doing them. What patterns are you still in that you're not even seeing that you're in? Have you ever thought about that? Usually we think that we are aware of everything. And then there are these things that we know that we're not aware of. We don't completely understand the whole mechanisms inside of a human body, how everything truly functions so well. We know the source of it, but it's still so magical. How this whole machinery function is purely magical. Truly, when you start to look at it. And so we are learning constantly, every day, about the body and deeper layers of what's possible with these bodies. And it starts with making sure that you're feeling the body, making sure that you are injecting healthy thoughts into your thought system, either through whatever you're watching, always monitoring what's being spoken and how that makes you feel. Not because they're wrong or nothing like that, but because if there's disturbance, there's something off there. It's disturbing the system instead of uplifting the system. You can really choose very deliberately what you allow in, what information you allow in. You are constantly filtering. How do you know? How do we truly know what is for us? Because there is a lot of different things that you could get into. But there is a very special system here on Gaia that not many people talk about. And it is very primal. It is about the senses. It is about the alertness to subtle changes. It's as if you're safe inside of your home, so you sort of have turned off those senses. Those are senses that you can pick up energies just like dogs do. Human beings have the same capability. It's just that they've been lazy in the way that they have been using that muscle. It is a muscle that can be trained. Intuition is a muscle that can be trained just like reps in the machines and all of these gym reps. Just the same. You have to do your spiritual reps if you want to get good at seeing, mastering your energy. You actually have to invest in those things with your time. What you want to get good at. Because once you actually take action with the body, not just let everything just be and respond to whatever is happening, but that you actually take an active role in your life and start to decide that you want to know how this works so that you can steer it properly. We, in the dualistic perspective, before we saw clearly what was going on, we steered the ship wrong. That's why we are sharing, because we know how many others were doing exactly what I was doing. Just following along with the program and just letting the universe, like there are many twisted perceptions that you can get into, which is not necessarily benefiting you comprehending how you affect this place here. You affect this place whether you want to admit it or not. You have an effect. Your frequency has an effect. If you want to be of service, truly be of service to the light, and not just be one of those that send hearts and love and light on the surface, but that there is an actual embodiment happening inside, that you are carrying a frequency, that you're carrying like a torch, because it is sacred. This human light is sacred. This balance, when you have managed to balance your frequency, it's a sacred frequency. You will naturally become very selective of who you allow into that space, because you are aware that whoever you allow into that space needs to either have the same frequency, or they will pull down just by the mere frequency clash. Not even nothing else. And so it is two very different frequencies, going from the dualistic perspective to the holistic perspective, which is what humanity is evolving into. It's just a matter of, each human being has a choice, because each human being needs to harmonize these two within. And that's why it is an individual game. It is not a game that you ping pong with other beings. That is in the dualistic perspective. It is a very individual game. Once you get how energy works, and that anything that truly happens that you think is happening out there is actually happening inside as well. So once you get the projections and the getting a grip on, first of all, identifying what you are doing to keep yourself in the dualistic perspective, and start to untether from those. Because it is about finding this balance. Always. There is always a balance. Everything has a balance and a flow. And when you get to the right frequency, with your actions. Your actions matter so much. Your actions, your thoughts, your everything matters. Everything. Your tidiness, your everything. How well you're looking after your things. You can read a lot from observing what's happening with the body, and you can see, okay, I see. This is what Gaia does. She helps course correct. That is what the feeler is. The feeler is more a navigating system. It's not something you have to listen to and obey, it's just, it is really, literally as the instructions of a cockpit. When you have this type of feeling, on the cockpit, in the body, this type of feeling in the body, that means a certain thing. There's a lot of different nuances, and many haven't been taught what these things mean at all. They've just been there to fend for themselves, because most of their caregivers were not embodied either. So there was a lot of hovering humans operating just protective still, even if it looked peaceful on the outside. It was a lot of, in the energy realm, it was a lot of fear. There is still some of that getting worked through, but you can create your own nucleus by focusing correctly, because it is all about untethering from these outside sources so that you get your source from above and below. That is only that energy that is fueling your energy system. Your focus is so much more powerful than you might think, because with your focus you get to decide which way you go. Which way, what would you like? That is the focus. The focus is what you would like. And if you don't like what you're focused on, change focus. Start to train yourself to do something different than what you have been doing, to correct course. The more things like that you do, that's what starts to stabilize your energy to be able to have higher intelligence flowing through much clearer and cleaner. So, if you wish to join us and to change in consciousness the 28-day shifts, you can start by clicking the link in the bio or in the description. All right. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you liked this video, please share it, like it, subscribe, and there's probably some videos here you can check out, or we'll see you on the next one. Take care. Ciao.